There have been a lot of villains in the Ace Attorney series. Engarde, Dahlia Hawthorne, Kristoph Gavin, the Phantom, and many more. But none have made me feel more afraid, more suffocated than Manfred von Karma. He only appears in one case in the main series, but he leaves a lasting impression on the player, and even Phoenix to an extent. In this video, I'll be talking about Manfred von Karma, the toughest Ace Attorney villain. I'll start off by talking about some of the tactics they used to make von Karma so imposing. First off, they immediately tell us his experience. Undefeated for 40 years. Even Edgeworth is scared of the guy, which says a lot to the player because we know all about Edgeworth by this point. And once we actually get in the courtroom, it's a whole different ballgame. Von Karma immediately establishes his control over the courtroom. Even Nick and Maya are questioning whether or not they can even win. And it's likely that the player is as well at this point. Throughout the game, the player gets used to pressing witnesses for more information. And that's fair, right? To create a defense, we need all the information we can get. Well, von Karma doesn't care. He objects instantly almost every time. His demonic voice ripples through the courtroom, making the player sigh and go, not again. The game makes it very clear that he is in control and not the judge. Capcom purposefully made the decision to have the judge satisfy his every whim early on. This makes it so that when the player does make an inch of progress, it feels like they took a mile. I feel like for some of the villains that came later, the writers really tried to create the same feeling that they got with von Karma, and I don't think they've ever been as successful. I mean, they have you go up against some pretty powerful people in this series, an assassin, the chief of police, and even a queen, but nothing compares to Manfred von Karma. And I don't think anything ever will. He's the final boss of Ace Attorney. In terms of character writing quality, I'd say that von Karma is among the lowest. He only appears in one case, Edgeworth investigations notwithstanding, so we don't get to see that much of his development at all. But the things that I've mentioned already in this video make up for it. The character designers did a fantastic job at making him super intimidating as well. He is big. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he was hiding a six-pack under there. In his full body illustration, he stands up straight, staring straight at the camera, with a massive smirk on his face. His actual sprites in the game are great too. They communicate an air of authority. He doesn't even show any nervous sprites until the end of the case. He's in control, and he doesn't even need to speak to let the player know that. Manfred von Karma is a perfectionist. He plans everything down to the last detail in a way we haven't seen before or since. Hell, even Kristoph Gavin left some things up to chance. He's the only person to straight up defeat Phoenix right in court, and the only reason his case ends up falling apart is because he was forced to let a witness speak that he couldn't carefully vet and prepare. Another important character point to take note of is that when things go south on him and his perfect record, he gets enraged. I mean, he murders Miles Edgeworth's father in the DL6 incident just because he got von Karma a penalty. He didn't even lose. He just got a penalty. I get at least 4 of those per episode. Just goes to show how cutthroat and ruthless the guy is. Finally, I'll cover how the game handles his downfall at the hands of the player. Personally, playing it myself for the first time, I felt like I was walking on a tightrope when it came to the final 20 minutes of the trial. You basically guess your way through the entire thing, until you start believing in what you're saying. Phoenix literally has zero clue about what actually happened, and he just comes up with a theory that turns out to be true. Of course, we still see the confident and well-planning von Karma, as the day before, he managed to steal all of the DL6 evidence other than one bullet. Even as Phoenix starts to unravel everything about the case, von Karma remains confident, believing that his perfect plan would still protect him. And it would have. But once again, the player gets incredibly lucky. Earlier in the case to progress, Phoenix needed to borrow a metal detector from Gumshoe, which he just happens to keep. Using the detector on von Karma proves that he was shot in the shoulder, just as Phoenix predicted. But even still, it's not enough to convict him. The final stroke of luck that goes the player's way is that Maya managed to save that one bullet that I mentioned earlier from the evidence, which can be tested against the bullet in his shoulder for a match. The player finally wins. Capcom's use of luck throughout this trial is no mistake. This is still rookie Phoenix Wright. By the end of Trials and Tribulations, I'd feel confident enough in Nick to believe that he'd be able to win this case without nearly as much luck. But he's just a rookie here. There is zero shot he'd ever been able to defeat von Karma had everything not gone his way. This is 100% intentional and a major part of his character arc throughout the series. Von Karma is just too good. Manfred von Karma is easily the toughest villain that Phoenix Wright has ever had the displeasure of facing off against in court. He is the final boss of Ace Attorney, and will always be remembered for just how damn scary he actually is. Thank you for watching, and happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you're glad I picked this super terrifying character to talk about on this day. Hope you enjoy yourself, I hope you stay safe, and I hope you get a lot of candy. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you later.